things are going to get really interesting, really, really spicy, I think, especially leading up to the seasonal. There's always one, at least in the open rounds, there's usually one or two just rogue decks that nobody's heard of, that nobody accounted for.
Yeah, that's what I love seeing. Like, literally just like something that comes out of nowhere that just no one's expecting and just like get so many wins. That's what I always love seeing. But personally, I love the meta at the moment just because there's Heimer. Any meta where Heimer's in it, it's good meta. So it looks like we should hopefully be getting into a game now.
Ooh, we were able to find that straggler match. SaltySimon is up against Ace Bombastico.
Yeah.
And it looks to be Pink City. Really fantastic build. It's lost a lot of its luster, I think, because Poppy Zed and Poppy Ziggs, just like their raw power and burst damage, has become a little bit more valuable these days. Also, the fact that a lot of this deck's burst is reliant on things like Double Up, which is a little bit easier to play around now that people know that it's coming.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but it can be such an explosive deck if it gets the stuff that it needs. Obviously, it did get a few nerfs. Like, obviously, like the main one is the stackers losing their tough.
Yes.
But because that was ridiculous 2-drop before.
It's honestly, despite the nerfs, this deck is already off to a fantastic start. Forces SaltySimon to play the Brightsteel Protector just to block this thing, and continues to go wide with Mirai Warden and gets a challenger! No, the Affectionate Poro! This is going to set up much better trades across the board. Now, my question is, does SaltySimon run the Radiant Guardian technology? This is a card that has found its way into Silver Auction specifically to counter these very aggressive strategies, but looking at this aggression, it might be too slow.
So I think it's going to be a little bit too late, because that's only going to drop on 5, and the amount of damage which is coming, also just like the fantasticness of the Chemist to make sure that you're getting that hit to Nexus for Gangplank as well on that turn. Lovely.
And Ace thinking about just taking 5 damage here. Yep, you've still got your wide board. There's an open attack here possibly being presented. The crack shot, oh man, it's tempting.
Do you consider Make It Rain here just to get rid of the
oh yeah, that's beautiful.
The 3-2. Just so you got one less. It depends on if SaltySimon throws somebody down now, like Akshan or something like that. Make It Rain could really come down here just to stop the blockers.
You go for Make It Rain. There's a chance of the God. Okay, I was going to say where it removes 2 blockers and damages the Nexus, but this is going to pop Silver Spell Shield. Makes her vulnerable to things like Pokestick, right? Maybe trying to set up a double up there. I was expecting perhaps a bluffed single combat or a bluffed concerted strike, but that is not it. There's only 3 mana left for Cataclysm.
Ooh, Cataclysm devastating with that quick attack to get rid of that Gangplank here. But the other thing about Sivir losing her spell shield is that now makes her vulnerable to Twisted Fate's stun, right?
Oh, yes, that is correct.
Even red card at this moment in time.
And because of the sequence there, where Absolver had to save the Vagabond from getting cleaned up by the Make It Rain, and then Cataclysm comes through, even though you stop the Gangplank, it means that that's one turn where you can't play a Radiant Guardian.
And that's another turn they're not going to be playing a Radiant Guardian, so potentially Twisted coming down here with red?
If you go for the red card against the Sivir, there's not mana to play another Sivir.
There is still mana for them to use like some combat tricks to get her health up, right? Like, or not. Okay,
I like that. Using the gold card rather than red card to account for Shape Stone or Absolver to give Sivir the +1 HP.
There still the only thing that would have punished would have been Sharp Sight, right?
Yes, there was mana for Sharp Sight, but Bombastico just taking
the damage with the wide board there as well.
This is it. Here's the open attack and the double up to finish it off.
It is not looking good for SaltySimon right now.
This is only the first game, and this hyper aggression is something that you just have to deal with when you're playing Demacia. There was no Akshan on turn 2 or even Fleet Feather Tracker on turn 1 to keep up in the early game. And even though Bombastico has been in the driver's seat, it's still down to 9 Nexus HP.
Yeah, I think it is just literally the double up and GG.
I wonder if Bombastico is going to go for it here, though. There's still 2 mana up to threaten a Sharp Sight. There is a read from the previous round.
Yep, it's whether or not they've got the Sharp Sight. That is the thing.
I think if you're Bombastico, that you can just not go for the double up here.
You could leave it, but being the gambling man, I would have gone for the 3-1 just because Shape Stone. So I would have gone for the 3-1 because it. Oh, the punishment!
Oh, no!
Oh, the punishment! That's why you go for the 3-1. Oh, you hate to see it.
That.
Because it's the 3-1 you go for, right? Because even Sharpstone can't get past that.
Correct. And now we've got to pick a card that doesn't do anything. The Screeching Dragon snipes the Crackshot Corsair to prevent that Nexus damage. Still no Radiant Guardian, but Bombastico is out of fuel.
Come on, Bombastico, like if you want to get back in this game, because this could go either way right now.
Uh-oh, it's starting to slip away. You've got to block the Twisted Fate, and this is going to open up the second Twisted Fate to come through with a red card. What does Warden's Prey get? What's the last breath unit? Legion Grenadier! Let's go!
No, not Legion Grenadier! Getting the cask, right? The 0 mana cask! That would be what you're looking for. You're looking for 0 mana cask.
The Caustic Cask!
Twisted Fate into cask. That's the dream, right? Oh, but it's Grenadier!
The Caster Blessing!
Oh.
And that's SaltySimon is like, you got Warden's Prey off of Mirai Warden into Grenadier for your bird deck. Not like this.
I mean, that's the thing now. They have to get that Twisted Fate off the board, right, in order to throw down the second. I mean, Crackshot Corsair, I mean, it's now looking good in Bombastic's thing. It's just, they need to lose that Twisted Fate.
So, the dream is you Fleet Feather Tracker now to clear the Crackshot Corsair.
Actually,
and then you can summon the Radiant Guardian. Is this lethal?
I was going to say, potentially for Demacia! For Demacia coming down. Actually, can Bombastic get out of this? Obviously, kill the dragon now, but still a lot of damage which is coming at you.
They've only got 9 health. 2 attackers get through. Grenadier gets pulled to the bottom of the stack to play around whatever that final card is. SaltySimon probably has a read that it's just a second Twisted Fate.
So they lose the dragon here, so they've not got another buff in hand. But looking at what's going on here.
SaltySimon gonna finish this one up mere seconds from disaster.
I mean, it was one more turn away. One more turn away. So,
and it came down to using that double up on the 3-2 and not the 3-1.
That's all it was! The 3-1! That's because I said Shape Stone. Why take the risk? Why take the risk?
I don't know. It's just one of those things where you have a spell that deals 2 damage, you see a 2 HP unit, and just go for it. And
you think value, yeah? But that is literally, I think that mistake was quite costly. Now we go into SaltySimon, their second deck. Second deck is the Z Poppy, so can be very aggressive.
SaltySimon has been favoring a lot of these very aggressive decks lately in tournament play, and we know that Poppy Z is just in terms of a ladder deck, just very monstrous, right? Z is a card that if you don't answer it immediately, it snowballs the game. Poppy is a card that if you don't answer it, it snowballs the game. Even if you don't draw your champions, you have these elusive threats and rallies that can still force through so much damage. And in the hands of not just SaltySimon, but his duo partner, like we've got 2 Galaxy Brain pilots playing this deck and making it even more destructive. We'll see if Bombastico's aggression can end the game before things go too far south.
It is also about their draw as well at the end of the day. Because I'm just going to say that. The reason why I do is because I don't know if you watched the first match. Obviously, while we were trying to sort things out at the beginning, I watched the first match with Caster Gem, who was using this deck and literally mulliganed everything away and got 3 poppies in the starting hand, and then just couldn't come back because they just started top decking spells and whatnot.
Oh,
and just,
no.
That's what we say. Sometimes, although this is a very devastating deck, Poppy Z, it is sometimes the draw can get you. Very rarely, but it can get you.
But we've got Zed on 3. At the very least, Stone Stackers can block. I'd maybe develop the Dreadway deckhand here in response.
Do you wait until the attack to consider the parlay on Zed? Because obviously he can grab the cart, he can grab the keg.
This is actually fantastic. SaltySimon has to snag the barrel here in order to play around that. And if you do, then your barrel just gets to block 3 damage for free. I think the way this is going to go down is that SaltySimon takes control of the board and wins that way. But if Bombastico can put up enough defense, I think the amount of burn is definitely there. But now
it's that twin discipline or or sharp side.
Ranger's Resolve also finds its way into this list more often than not. And yeah, so Bombastico can't take that risk just yet. The double up is also pretty fearsome.
Double up. We'll be doing 3 damage to the unit with the keg on the board at the moment. And the best part of that is it is fast speed, which makes it obviously better than the parlay. Because if Zed goes for the grab.
You can see the pressure here, right? Because you can't go for hidden pathways there just to try to spend your mana efficiently, because SaltySimon maybe goes for a rally and punishes you for not having that extra blocker. So now here Zed comes into the open attack. We've got 3 damage coming from the double up with a safety block here, just in case there is a buff.
There is also the pokey stick as well. If the buff, like say that they go for killing the cast. Actually, no, the cast doesn't matter with the double up. I mean, if there's a buff, there is also pokey stick in there.
Yeah, so here's Twin Discipline. That's going to be plus 3 HP. So Pokey Stick will deal 2. This doesn't cover it, unfortunately. I guess it might be better to kill the other, the Living Shadow with the 2 damage from the Pokey Stick. Prevent the level up.
Yeah, prevent the level up. Because if the rallies come at you now, it's not going to be good times.
Yeah, there's no units to play for Bombastico. Is SaltySimon going to call them out? Fleet Feather Tracker.
Still the mana in there for rally. Oh, there it is! I mean, yeah, there's nothing they can really... Oh, but that doesn't really matter. The rally still happens.
So Pokey Stick comes through to deny the Fleet Feather Tracker, but you don't get a 1-drop to play to help against this onslaught. Zed is coming once again. This is going to be 8 damage.
Yep. Not really a lot that Bombastic can do about this.
And this is basically the presence of, ironically, Ping City was a deck that kind of was developed to counter Bandle Tree. And then Poppy Zed comes through to counter this deck because you just have this mid-game, this early tempo threat that just forces all of these Bandle City units to just block, and they don't get that aggressive swarm value when they're forced onto the back foot. It's kind of like how Zed was sort of a mild punish against Aurelia Azir, right? Decks that really don't like to be defensive and they just want to keep hitting you. This is how you punish them. You make your attacks even more devastating. With only 4 HP left, can Gangplank bring this back?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be on the side of Bombastic here just because I want this to go to 3 matches. I know that we should be impartial, but just because I want it to go to 3 matches, it's not looking good with the all the elusives. You've got the Zed who's going to be coming. That deck does also run Ghost as well, I believe. So giving that to Zed.
Ooh, a very cheeky finisher indeed. If we do have the Ghost, there is a barrel in play. We have the double up once more. There's already been a Twin Disciplines cashed in to protect the Zed.
Make It Rain is actually quite a good top deck, though, because it could get rid of those elusives.
The barrel with the Make It Rain also does cover the Ranger's Resolve. And if SaltySimon is hesitating here to swing in with the Zed against the Gangplank, maybe giving away a little bit more information than he wants to about what buffs are in hand.
Yeah, making sure that they're saving that so that the Make It Rain can't take that down.
Here it is, double up coming through once again. Hesitates.
I mean,
This
it's one of
trying
those
to
things.
trying to set up, trying to set up for the double up to detonate the barrel. If the make it rain goes through, you're happy. If they react, then you double up and switch targets to Zed potentially. SaltySimon says, Zed's still alive. This is all I care about.
I mean, if Ghost is in hand or Rally, it's not looking good.
There's the duo. Still 3 mana left. Still so many options hidden within those 3 cards. Those unknown unknowns.
I said that at least they can't have Rally, because obviously 4 mana is for the Rally, but there could have been Ghost, which obviously has gone out the window now.
And this double up needs to connect. SaltySimon has the read. Keeping that 5 mana open was clearly a double up.
Now, can they get a Twin Discipline on top of here?
Twin Discipline or Sharp Sight wins the game here for SaltySimon.
Well,
because you can just buff the Shadow Assassin.
They flex and use Twin Discipline, but also Ranger's Resolve.
Yeah, you've got to protect the Green Glade duo. There is no barrel in play anymore.
Ooh!
The Surrender! So,
I mean, even
the double up, the double up, you would be able to survive the combat with Green Glade duo, set down, and then you would set Simon down to 1 HP, and then an open attack with Gangplank's AoE. What a close game.
Yep. I mean, as well, they also did have the stackers in hand as well, which obviously does the 1 damage off of impact. So there was also that if they would have lost Gangplank, like they did also have like that move, because if they were taking them down to 1 from the
man, now we've got Poppy Ziggs versus Poppy Zed, looks like. Or is this Bandle Burn? I didn't see if there was any champions in the opening.
Okay, this is Teemo Swain! Teemo Swain! Oh,
okay, I actually really do like this deck.
Yep.
Bandle City complements the Noxus removal and Swain package so well.
Oh yeah, so much damage in it. Like it's an amazing thing. Because bear in mind, like I think didn't Teemo Swain have a brief time like before Bandle got involved when it was just P and Z? I think that
yes, I do remember that deck because you would run Stumpworks map for the Swain.
Oh, to get the damage in. Oh, like there's not many elusives that can defend a fearsome Swain.
But what's so great about this package is you have like cheap ways to enable your Ravenous Flocks and your tempo answers like that. In the old school control Swain decks didn't have a way to follow up with the Ravenous Flock tempo that they were earning for themselves. It was purely for just efficient removal and buying time to stall for Leviathan and Swain. But now, with Bandle City, you have so many more ways to press your advantage that's bought with Arachnoid Sentry.
Yep. And it's one of those things whereby, is it just me? We saw Pokestick, like, recently just got mulliganed out, but is it me? Or should Pokestick be slightly changed? Just that little bit to get input. Like, I was thinking about this recently. Like, when you consider it compared to something like Glimpse, or something along those lines, the fact that it still draws you the card even if the target gets removed. Like, what do you think about that kind of a nerf to that kind of card to stop it, just to put it in line with some of the other draw cards that are similar to it?
I think that if you changed Pokesticks that it could fizzle if it loses its target, you don't get the card. Players probably would just start sending it face and it would just become an aggro card. I did also hear that some players were asking for Pokestick not to be able to hit the Nexus, which is another idea, taking away a little bit of that chip damage from Bandle City. It certainly is a big, it hurts this deck for sure, because you also have the ability to ping the Nexus and activate your level 2 Swain, but
it's just
there's other more higher priority cards for sure.
Oh, 100% there's higher priority, but it's such a good value card in so many different ways.
But Bombastico doing a fantastic job of controlling this early game. The Young Witch is a massive threat, but using the Arachnoid Sentry and taking down the Protege means that as long as there's nothing for her to support, there's nothing you really need to worry about. We still have mana now for Buster Shot, potentially, to follow up on whatever SaltySimon plays. And yeah, with no extra mana to back up your development of a unit, you have to pass.
Yep, and there we go, getting rid of Poppy immediately.
Yep, Poppy into Buster Shot. Even if you defend the Poppy, she's still damaged, and you can finish her off with Ravenous Flock. We have Scorched Earth as well.
All the different ways of removing damage. So, yeah, Rangers Resolve coming in, but it's not going to be enough to get her past the Flock as well.
Yeah, the Buster Shot can only deal 2 damage here. And maybe this signals a Sharp Sight or a Twin Discipline as well to protect the Poppy. The issue, however, becomes even with Poppy being protected this turn, she's still damaged, and her days are numbered until your opponent gets the next Ravenous Flock or the Scorched Earth or what have you.
Definitely, you can imagine the Scorched Earth coming down just to make sure they can just, like, shut down that Poppy. Because what else is going on in that hand? 3 cards.
Ooh. Saving the Scorched Earth. And redacted HP on the Poppy. The Sharp Sight. So Bombastico wanted to have his cake and eat it too, to just trade the Arachnoid Sentry into the Poppy, but it is responded to, and now she's alive. Another play where you go for maximum efficiency, getting punished. Brightsteel Protector gets discarded. Huge amount of information given now to Bombastico that the hand is 2 or less. This tells us Sharp Sight, Ranger's Resolve, Twin Discipline potentially.
It also means you don't have to worry about the rallies as well. Just that the knowledge of that against that deck is nice.
Mm-hmm. That is true. No rally. Decides to pass. Burning the mana from SaltySimon, but this deck is so explosive, I don't think it's a true punish. Because now they get to protect Poppy by waiting and waiting.
Doesn't protect her from a Scorched Earth, though.
But now you're in a conundrum, because now you can Scorched Earth the Poppy, but what if they have a second Poppy? Fortunately, mana is spent. You can see, like, how every single decision about how you use your removal has massive implications.
And taking the Crescent Strike here, I think you've got to against that deck, right? Just because you know that there's the rallies in there, so if you see a rally come down, the ability just to completely shut down what they would go forward with.
And Nopify for the Scorched Earth. Nopify, a fantastic tech in this list that shuts down all of those removals, keeps your champions alive, and now, by not responding to the Poppy as efficiently and immediately, we've got a huge pickle with Poppy and Zed about to level, sitting across the board from you. You hate to see it. Leviathan is maybe gonna come down and try to swing things by just having a big enough body.
Take Messenger for draw. It makes sense. I can understand that of those picks.
The Crescent Strike is just a fantastic get-out-of-jail-free card. You get to play around a potential rally, or if SaltySimon dares develop into you rather than open attacking, it's a great punish here.
Conchologist, also such a great card in this matchup for Noxus. There's so many great spells in that range in Noxus. The Conchologist, magnificent card in this deck.
A couple units being put out to attack, wanting to be efficient here. Maybe one of them dies, and you just get to refill your bench with a Conchologist. Bombastico trying to strike the balance of saying, yes, this is a real, legitimate attack. I don't want you to just clear a unit from my board.
It is also one of those things where you want to clear the units so that if Poppy does go for the immediate open... Oh, the Flock!
Rescued!
Potentially get rid of Poppy. I'm trying to think what buffs could come in. Not that they've got. So that's the Poppy, just like stopping that Poppy level up. Nicely done there from Bombastic.
Conchologist getting Flock, and you had just got done saying how great the pool of cards are between both of these regions for this card to get. Almost everything that you can grab synergizes with the Swain and with the rest of the Noxus package. Another fantastic defense being put up. The Swarm, the Bandle City Swarm, is keeping up now with SaltySimon, and the tempo is slipping away.
The second that Swain goes onto the board and is leveled, that Leviathan stunning out the cards like Zed and whatnot, so that he can't go forward and level up as well. It's one of those things where Yep, there. It's like,
And there's
what do
the
you do?
surrender.
What do you do? And the fact that we knew that there was a Crescent Strike in hand, so even if they would start throwing down those rallies, like, you know, shutting down immediately with stuns. Great matchup there.
Yeah, one big unit is all it takes to shut that down and just continue to block. So that was a fantastic set. With SaltySimon just barely missing out on the win in game 2, couldn't respond to the double up. And then in game 3, getting that final Ravenous Flock was just absolutely massive to shut down the Poppy right before she leveled up. And it was looking pretty dicey. I'm not going to lie. It was looking very dicey that the Poppy was able to survive for so many turns, but fortunately did not snowball the game as much as she is known for.
It was like such squeaky bum time. Just the fact, like, we could see there was removal in hand, and the fact it got countered both times, like the bit of the greediness, as you say there, when they threw down the was it Arachnoid Sentry just to try to deal with it. As you said, to have their cake and eat it too.